When it comes to attraction, it's often easy to think that looks or a charming personality are enough to win someone over. However, the truth is that attraction is much more complex. Beneath the surface, there are subtle psychological tactics that can ignite intense feelings of attraction and desire. These tactics aren't obvious. They work on a deeper, psychological level, influencing emotions and thoughts in ways that aren't immediately noticeable. In this video, we will explore proven, dark psychology techniques that have the power to make your crush obsessed with you. These techniques are rooted in human psychology and emotional manipulation, so they should be used with care and responsibility. Let's dive into these powerful strategies and discover how you can gain the upper hand in capturing someone's attention and affection. Number 1, create scarcity. Be present, then pull away. One of the fundamental principles of human psychology is that people tend to value things that are rare or hard to get. This concept applies to relationships as well. When something or someone is always available, it's easy to take them for granted. On the other hand, when something is rare, it becomes more desirable. This psychological phenomenon is known as scarcity. To use this tactic effectively in the context of attraction, start by being readily available to your crush. Make your presence known, whether it's by texting, hanging out, or being actively involved in their life. During this phase, your goal is to build rapport and make them feel comfortable around you. They should enjoy your company and start to rely on your presence. However, the key to this technique lies in the next step. After you've established your presence, suddenly pull away. Become less available, don't answer messages immediately, and create some distance. This abrupt change creates a psychological tension where your crush starts to wonder why you've pulled away. Their mind becomes preoccupied with thoughts of you, and they begin to miss the attention and presence they were previously getting. The fear of losing you, even just your attention, can trigger obsessive thoughts about you. The emotional roller coaster of being present one moment and distant the next can make you the center of their thoughts, as they will constantly try to understand your behavior and regain your attention. Number 2, use the power of compliments. Hit their ego. Compliments are incredibly powerful tools, but when used strategically, they can have an even deeper effect. Most people enjoy receiving compliments, but in dark psychology, the trick is to deliver compliments that target your crush's core desires, needs, and even insecurities. This means going beyond surface-level compliments like, "You're good looking," or "You have a nice smile." To effectively use this technique, you need to understand what your crush values the most about themselves, or what they secretly wish others would notice. Is it their intelligence, creativity, or sense of humor? Perhaps it's their sense of style or a particular skill they take pride in. By identifying these traits and delivering highly specific, thoughtful compliments that align with them, you make your crush feel special in a way that no one else does. For example, if your crush is very proud of their knowledge in a particular subject, you might compliment them on how insightful and knowledgeable they are about that topic. This not only boosts their ego, but also makes them feel seen and understood. However, be careful not to overdo it. Compliments should be given sparingly and strategically. Too many compliments can come across as insincere or overwhelming, which can backfire. The key is to make your crush crave your validation and approval, so they are constantly seeking that next compliment from you. This creates a cycle where they become more attached to you because you fulfill their deep psychological need for recognition and validation. Number 3, play hot and cold, emotional whiplash. The hot and cold technique is a classic dark psychology strategy that taps into the unpredictability of human emotions. This technique works by creating emotional highs and lows in your crush, which makes them more invested in you. It's like playing an emotional game where you are warm, affectionate, and attentive one moment, and then cold, distant, or disinterested the next. Why does this work? The human brain is wired to seek resolution for unresolved situations. When someone is friendly and affectionate one day, but then becomes distant and aloof the next, it creates confusion and emotional instability. Your crush will likely start wondering why you've changed your behavior and will spend more time thinking about you as they try to figure out what went wrong. This obsession with understanding your behavior keeps you at the forefront of their mind. By being unpredictable, you make yourself into a puzzle that your crush can't easily solve. They will be constantly trying to win back your attention when you're cold and trying to maintain the affection you've shown when you're warm. The emotional roller coaster of not knowing what to expect from you can create a deep fixation as they become emotionally invested in figuring you out and winning back your affection. Number 4, mirror their behavior. The subtle bonding technique. Mirroring is a subtle yet powerful technique in psychology that involves mimicking someone's behavior, speech patterns, or body language to create a subconscious bond. This technique is rooted in the idea that people tend to like others who are similar to them. When you mirror someone, you make them feel more comfortable and understood, which fosters a sense of connection and familiarity. To use this technique effectively, pay attention to how your crush behaves during your interactions. How do they speak? Do they use certain gestures? What is their tone of voice? By subtly mimicking their behavior, you create an invisible bond that makes your crush feel like you're on the same wavelength. For example, if your crush tends to speak in a calm, measured tone, try adopting a similar tone in your conversations. If they use specific phrases or slang, incorporate those into your speech. The key to mirroring is to be subtle. If it's too obvious, it will come across as forced or insincere. When done correctly, mirroring can make your crush feel like they have a deeper connection with you without fully understanding why. This subconscious bond creates a sense of trust and familiarity, making you seem like an ideal match for them. Number 5, create inside jokes. Build private connections. Inside jokes are a fun and effective way to build a private, intimate connection with your crush. These are jokes or references that only the two of you share, making them feel special and connected to you in a unique way. Inside jokes create a sense of exclusivity, which can make your relationship feel more meaningful and personal. For example, if you and your crush share a funny moment, turn it into a recurring joke that only the two of you understand. Every time that joke comes up in future conversations, it reinforces the bond you share. Your crush will start associating those moments of laughter and exclusivity with you, making you stand out from other people in their life. The power of inside jokes lies in the fact that they create a private world where only you and your crush exist. This exclusivity can lead to stronger feelings of intimacy and connection, as your crush will feel like they share something special with you that no one else does. It's a subtle way to keep you on their mind, as they will be reminded of the joke and the bond you share long after the conversation has ended. Number 6, play the role of the mysterious puzzle. Humans are naturally curious creatures, and one of the most compelling forces that drive attraction is mystery. When something or someone is a bit hard to figure out, it sparks an instinctual desire to solve the puzzle. This principle works just as powerfully in the world of attraction. If you reveal too much about yourself too quickly, your crush may lose interest because there's nothing left for them to discover. However, if you keep certain aspects of your life and personality hidden, you can create an aura of intrigue that will make your crush more curious about you. To effectively play the role of a mysterious puzzle, you don't need to be deceptive or completely secretive. Instead, share information about yourself in small doses. Be selective about what you reveal and leave some details open-ended or vague. For instance, if your crush asks about your hobbies, you might mention that you enjoy traveling, but avoid going into detail about where you've been or where you're going next. This small gap in information will leave your crush wanting to know more. Another key element of maintaining mystery is to avoid oversharing your emotions or intentions. Don't immediately let your crush know exactly how you feel about them or your long-term goals. Keep some of your thoughts and feelings to yourself, allowing them to guess and wonder about where they stand and where they steer. This guessing game will keep them invested in trying to figure you out, which can lead to them thinking about you more often, further fueling their attraction. Number 7, create emotional dependency. One of the more advanced dark psychology techniques involves fostering emotional dependency. This method is centered around becoming an essential figure in your crush's emotional world. When someone relies on you for emotional support, excitement, or even comfort, it creates a powerful bond that is difficult to break. The key to this strategy is to gradually position yourself as the person your crush turns to whenever they need to share their feelings or escape boredom. In the beginning, be the person who is always there for them. Listen when they need to vent, provide comfort when they're feeling down, and be a source of fun and joy when they're bored. Over time, your crush will start to associate you with positive emotions and rely on you for support. Once you've established this emotional bond, begin to pull away slightly. Stop being as available as you were before, and create moments of absence. This sudden withdrawal can create a void in your crush's emotional life. They may begin to miss your presence and crave the emotional support you used to provide. The discomfort they feel in your absence can make them want to reconnect with you, and they may become fixated on regaining your attention. By creating this emotional dependency, you become a central figure in their thoughts, leading to a deeper attachment and even obsession. Number 8, use the law of reciprocity. Give and take. The law of reciprocity is a powerful principle in human psychology, stating that people feel obligated to return favors or kindness they have received. This psychological instinct can be leveraged to create attraction and a sense of obligation in your crush. The key is to start by giving, whether it's your time, attention, or even small favors. By making your crush feel special and cared for, you build a sense of indebtedness that they will naturally want to repay. For example, you could help your crush with a task they're struggling with, surprise them with a thoughtful gesture, or simply be there for them during a difficult time. Once you've established that you've given something valuable, start subtly expecting something in return. This doesn't have to be a direct request, but rather an unspoken expectation that they should now invest more time, attention, or even affection in return. Over time, this back and forth exchange builds an emotional connection. Your crush may not even realize that their feelings of obligation are starting to turn into deeper feelings of attraction. By consistently giving and expecting in return, you create a psychological bond where your crush feels invested in the relationship and is more likely to develop stronger feelings for you. Number 9, keep them guessing. Avoid predictability. Attraction thrives on uncertainty and excitement, while predictability can often lead to boredom. One of the most effective ways to keep your crush intrigued and thinking about you is to avoid being too predictable in your interactions. This technique is about mixing things up and keeping them on their toes, unsure of what to expect from you next. If your behavior is consistent all the time, your crush may begin to feel too comfortable and lose the sense of excitement that initially drew them to you. Instead, vary your approach. One day you might be playful and flirtatious, while the next day you could be more serious and thoughtful. This unpredictability creates an element of surprise and intrigue, making your crush invest more mental energy into figuring you out. The mental effort your crush puts into trying to understand you will lead them to think about you more often. As they attempt to predict your next move or gauge your feelings, they become more mentally and emotionally engaged. This technique not only keeps the spark alive, but also fosters a deeper emotional investment as your crush tries harder to get your attention and figure out where they stand with you. Number 10. Flirt with others in front of them. Jealousy is a powerful emotional trigger, and when used carefully, it can create a strong desire for your attention. Flirting with others in front of your crush is a dark psychology tactic that taps into this emotion, making them realize they want your attention all to themselves. The key to using this technique effectively is subtlety. You don't want to be overly obvious or disrespectful, as that could push your crush away. Instead, aim for just enough flirtation to spark a feeling of competition. When your crush sees you interacting with others in a playful or flirtatious manner, they may begin to feel a sense of urgency or fear of losing you to someone else. This jealousy can trigger their desire to win back your attention and affection, making them work harder to capture your interest. It plays on the primal fear of loss and the competitive instinct to secure something valuable. However, be mindful of how you approach this tactic. If done too aggressively, it could backfire and lead to feelings of hurt or resentment. The goal is to create just enough jealousy to ignite their interest without causing emotional harm. When used with care, this technique can be a powerful way to deepen their desire for you. Number 11, use the power of silence. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Sometimes saying nothing can be the most powerful move you make. Silence is a dark psychology technique that creates a psychological vacuum, leaving your crush to wonder and worry about you. If you've been consistently texting or calling your crush, suddenly going quiet for a while can make them feel uncertain and anxious. This lack of communication gives them time to reflect on your absence and miss the attention you were previously giving them. The power of silence lies in its ability to create a sense of longing. When you're no longer readily available, your crush is left wondering why you've pulled away, whether you've lost interest, and what you're up to. This mental preoccupation can make them reach out to you first, seeking to fill the gap created by your absence. By stepping back and allowing them to come to you, you shift the dynamic and keep them thinking about you even when you're not around. Number 12, leverage physical touch. Anchor emotional responses. Physical touch can be a subtle yet incredibly powerful tool when it comes to attraction. In dark psychology, touch is used to create a connection and anchor emotional responses. By lightly and casually touching your crush in non-threatening ways, like a touch on the arm during conversation or a playful nudge, you establish a sense of intimacy without being too forward. Physical touch has the ability to create strong emotional associations. For example, if your crush laughs at a joke while you touch their arm, they may begin to associate those positive emotions with your physical presence. Over time, this can build a deeper emotional and physical bond, making them feel more connected to you. It's important to keep the touch light and appropriate, ensuring it feels natural in the context of your interactions. When used carefully, this technique can make your crush subconsciously associate their positive feelings with being around you, further deepening their attraction and connection. These dark psychology techniques aren't about manipulation for malicious purposes. They're about understanding human behavior and using it to build attraction and connection. However, they are powerful, and with great power comes great responsibility. So be sure to use these techniques with care and consideration for the feelings of others. Let me know which of these tactics you think would work best for you in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the fascinating world of psychology and attraction.